good morning everybody. Thanks for joining me on this very last class of this Explore Meditation series. So just to recap, we've covered quite a lot of ground. On day one we went over what are the myths and popular beliefs around meditation versus what is meditation really. So I was kind of laying out my approach to what meditation is. On day two we went into different techniques and different friends that you can use different tools that are available at your disposal, different aspects, entries, gates into consciousness that you can practice using in your life. So that's what we did on day two. On day three, I don't remember off the top of my head what we did, but after that we went into how do you actually practice that? Yes, how do you come into feeling? A very simple technique to breathe, relax, feel, watch, allow. What does it really mean to feel? And then we went into this balance between what is on the inside, what is on the outside. Welcome, Claudia. Welcome, Monica. It's so nice to see you on here, Monica. Welcome. So we went into this balance of what does it mean to feel on the inside, what does it mean to breathe on the outside? What is this beautiful balance? So we've covered quite a bit of ground, explored quite a variety of practices, and I'll be delighted to take any questions this morning. We do start the Explore Meditation 8-week class next week, so if you'd like to register, please register by Tuesday night. That's about 40 hours from now. Then you get early bird, and then I'll double check that the timings will work with your schedule. You can also register after that because we start next week, but I recommend you register by Tuesday. So today is our last class in the series, and all the replays will be up until Tuesday night, so please watch them. And actually, I'd like to speak a little bit into why the replays are up until Tuesday night and not up ad infinitum. And I've mentioned this before, but it occurred to me again just this morning because I want to segue from this into something else. So part of the reason the replays are up just until Tuesday is because some of the practices that I've shared are deep, are profound, are powerful. And what happens when you start practicing powerful techniques is that they can stir up quite a lot inside of you. And you know, they say there's this let me turn off my Wi-Fi, that'll make the broadcast quality better. Hey, I hope you can see me. It says live, so I think you can. Good. Alright. Well, there's this expression that a yogi floats in the waters that would make someone mad sink. And that really, it's the same waters. But whether you float on it or sink in it, whether you navigate these states of flooding of light, how you navigate these states of consciousness, is really a very subtle difference. What could bring someone to ecstatic awareness of self? What could bring someone to true insight and seeing the light, seeing the divine everywhere? What could bring someone to enlightenment, to nirvana, to moksha, is the same thing that could appear very like insanity to someone else. So that aspect of when you have a very powerful practice, what does it actually do for your being and how do you navigate it when it arises? That's part of why the videos come down on Tuesday, because when I share these practices with you, I do want them to reach a lot of people, and that's the beauty of having technology and social media and things these days. And at the same time, I want to make sure that it's done responsibly so that there is guidance if someone needs it. There is someone they can come and ask, or someone they can come and speak to, who can guide them in that direction if something is stirred up that's very strong. So that's part of why they come down on Tuesday, and I will do this series again, probably in a few months' time, so I'll be around again for the next container. But that's also why I recommend and invite you and so warmly embrace you on this 8-week journey if you'd like to come along for that. I really want to teach you, and I'm open to questions, just pop them in anytime, because these are just bonus Q&A type of calls. I don't have a planned curriculum. But this morning as I was showering, what occurred to me is that I would really like to teach you a little bit of mantra meditation. That's a little bit of chanting. And in my tradition, that comes from Sanskrit. So you chant in Sanskrit, and the understanding is that the vibrations of the words, carry special vibrations, and that those vibrations, they can shift what's inside of you, they can shift what is outside of you. Think of like a gong or a sound bath, or the way that clapping just shifts vibration. Like that, except so much more nuanced, because in Sanskrit there are all these sounds and all these intonations. And the stories go that the ancient sages and the ancient rishis of India would go, deep into tapas, deep into yoga practice, deep into meditation, deep into chanting. And they would chant these mantras. And the more and more they chanted it, like the universal, unformed cosmic energy would start to gather form around these mantras that they would chant. The universal, unformed cosmic energy would start to take shape because of the container offered in these mantras. And so as this would happen, and the sages deep in penance, like, 10 years of standing on one foot with their eyes closed, like deep in focus. I mean, the point being not suffering, the point being deep focus. Such awakened states of energy and light flowing through them. From those states, when they would chant these mantras over and over and over and over, the container, the form for space itself, which would change. And then what they'd see, in their mind's eye, perhaps in their open eyes, I don't know, what they'd see was a form take shape. A form that was sort of the coagulation of the energy behind the mantra. And then they'd look at this form and be like, oh, interesting, you look like that. Oh, interesting, you look like this. Oh, you have your left hand here, and your right leg is carrying a conch or something. I don't think anyone's like that, but they would have some physical description they'd come up with based on what they'd see after chanting. And it said that those descriptions then kind of became the gods and goddesses that we see in all the temples today. Those descriptions, when multiple sages were like, yeah, I kept chanting this mantra and this is the kind of form that I saw. And someone else would be like, yeah, I did the same thing. This is the kind of form that I saw. That kind of became, okay, now that person, that form, let's call that form a deity. Let's worship that deity. And then that deity took a name, took a form, all of these things. But my teacher says that the place that all of this originated, came out of, the seed that germinated, is really the seed of the mantra, the seed of the sound, the seed of that really focused, heartfelt, loving chanting. And there is a huge difference between prayer, chanting, and meditation. There's a huge difference between doing that from a place of love versus not. And what you'll find when you practice, and you can play around with this if you wish, or you can just believe me and do it, up to you. What you'll find is that when you do any of those things from any of those sacred practices from a place of open-hearted love, that the power behind it is so much stronger, more effortless, and, well, loving. So, if all of that sounds good, let's start with a chanting mantra practice, and then at the end of that, I'll share a few more words on a particular concept I was mulling over today. So bring on any questions if you have them. I don't know how experienced you are with mantra chanting or not. The main thing, as I said, is to chant from the heart. So to come into the heart space, to chant from a place of love. because then your heart field is stronger and everything is just, there's more surrender, there's more devotion, there's more energy moving it. So here's the mantra that we're going to chant today. Hey Valerie, nice to see you. And it is a mantra that was given to all of us in the very recent past. It's not an ancient mantra. It's a mantra that my teacher in India offered the world in the light of COVID, in the light of Corona. When several devotees went to my teacher and said, hey, this thing has started. Is there something we can chant? What can we do to help? My teacher was like, just wait. And then a few weeks later was like, okay, chant this. So this is that mantra, and this is my teacher who taught this mantra. This is Narayani Amma, Sri Shakti Amma in India. And the form, remember I mentioned earlier the form, when you chant a mantra, the form kind of coagulates. The form here, we say, is the form of all of Divine Mother, all of the Divine Feminine together. So in the tradition I was born into, in the Hindu tradition, the feminine goddess is generally described as Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga, Parvati. The goddess of prosperity, the goddess of wisdom, and the goddess of strength or power. And you need all, if you think about it, you need all of those things. You need prosperity, and that includes love, abundance, health. You need wisdom to know what you need and to know when what you have is enough, and to see the truth and to see clearly. And you need strength. Strength to then act in the world. Strength to then be in the body, energy. You need those aspects as well. So the trinity of those three is what we refer to as Narayani, this deity here. And so the mantra that we'll go into, and then at the end, I mean, if you have questions, at the end I'll speak a little bit to questions around how it is that I have a teacher, or why it is that I have a teacher, because the last time I taught on YouTube a few years ago and shared something about my teacher, my biggest fan was like, what? You have a guru? You must be nuts. So we just share a little bit about that at the end. And for now, let's just try out this practice. You don't need to believe anything. Just try it out with an open mind. You could experience something, you could not. All experiences are valid. And yeah, try it out with an open mind. Heart open is the most important thing. And if you are very familiar with chanting mantras, particularly from the South Asian traditions, there are many there. If you are familiar with chanting mantras, you might know that often someone could get into a place of chanting like almost as though it is a prayer, almost as though it is almost as though it is an offering to a particular aspect of divine consciousness. This mantra is not like that. This mantra is different because this mantra was created and was birthed through to help destroy COVID, to help balance the negativities and the negative energy that's on the world right now. So it's sort of geared at, how do I say this? What I mean is, don't direct this to anywhere positive. So here's the mantra. I'll type it in the chat and then I'll explain it a bit more. It goes, Om Kreem. So Om and Kreem are seed sounds. And then Mahakali is Maha is greatness, Kali is the name of the power that destroys. Sarva Rogam, Sarva means all, and Rogam means diseases I might be misspelling that. There we go. Roga means diseases, so all diseases. And then in the end, it's nasi, nasi. And nasi, you'll see that in the chat now. So Om Cream are seed sounds, and seed sounds are like Bija Mantra. Seed sounds are like sounds that encapsulate a lot. Maha Kali, invoking Maha, the great, Kali, the destructive energy of the Divine Mother, but the destructive energy, the destructive aspect. Sarva Rogam, all diseases. Nasi Nasi. Now Nasi, I understood recently, is the name of, and this is why we don't direct this mantra like at anything positive, because Nasi is, it's kind of like an arrow. It's this fire from our soul that can be sent out to destroy. So if you want to picture anything, and you don't need to, but if you want to picture anything, I don't usually, but if you want to picture anything, when you say the Nasi Nasi part, that's when you can think, oh, let me direct this towards destroying all dis-ease. So that's basically what Sarvarogam is, all dis-ease. So Om Cream, seed sounds. Maha Kali, the great destroyer. Sarva, of the Divine Mother. Sarvarogam, all dis-ease. Nasi Nasi, sort of sending that arrow forth. So that's what that mantra is. Hi Umanti, so nice to have you on here. So we're just going to be doing this mantra chanting. And the mantra is in the chat box. So how do you chant a mantra? There's two ways. You can chant it internally, you can chant it externally. If you are somewhere where you're comfortable chanting it externally, then I invite you to chant it externally with me. Some people will say the pronunciation matters a lot. What I say is that if you are in your heart, if you are coming from a place of love, the pronunciation, it doesn't matter so much. So let's first take a few deep breaths in. The eyes close, breathing into the heart center, and breathing out. Breathing into the heart center, and breathing out. Very good. And then think of something or someone that you love. Think of something or someone that you love. Feel that love. Where do you feel that love? Feel that love. And just gently land. Land in your heart center. Land in your chest. And from this place, can you imagine wishing well upon the world? Can you imagine from this place of love, wishing, praying, willing that all disease be turned into light, be seen for what it really is? From this place of love, and if you've lost it, just come back to your breath and come back to thinking about someone that you love or something that you love. And from this place of in your heart, from this place of love, can you imagine holding the world in your hands and seeing all negativity just melt away into the void? So let's start chanting the mantra together. We'll just do it for a short while, because I don't know how experienced you are with mantra chanting or not. So if you just joined, just scroll up in the chat box to where I typed the mantra. You might want to look at it. Or if you feel confident that you'll pick it up, then you can stay with your eyes closed, stay with that feeling in your heart, and just listen to me and then chant along. chant along with it, yeah? Again, if you're somewhere where you're comfortable chanting this aloud, then chant it aloud. And if you are somewhere perhaps public in any way and you're not comfortable chanting aloud, just chant it internally. But direct it, especially when we say that nasi nasi bit, direct it towards all the negativity and just let that fall away, let that melt away, all disease. Just see that falling away, if you wish, or you can just chant it without thinking anything at all. Main thing, into the heart, with that true wish, that true heartfelt wish that the world be okay. The true heartfelt wish that all disease melt away. The true heartfelt wish that negativity just be freed to see that it is really light underneath it. So we'll start with chanting 3 Oms in the beginning. And again, you don't need to believe anything. I'm not asking you to shift any perception. Just asking you to try this out and see at the end how you feel. So deep breath in. Another deep breath in. Third deep breath in. Notice how you feel. Come back to the intention of holding the world and visioning that all disease melt away. And then either with your eyes open, looking at the text that I typed in, or with your eyes closed, listening to me, picking it up, and following on. Please join me in chanting for the next few minutes. Om Krim Mahakali Sarvarogam Nasi Nasi. 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 Om Krim Mahakali महाकाली सर्वरोगं नसि नसि। ॐ क्रीं 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 महाकाली सर्वरोगं नसि नसि. And notice how you feel. Just let the sound sink in. Let the vibrations sink in. Be with what you feel. if you feel in need of a bit more balance right now, just do a few rounds of the alternate nostril breath that we practiced in 2 of the other classes. And otherwise, just start to take in a deep breath and let it out. Another deep breath and let it out. And if you did some of the alternate nostril breathing, next time you exhale on your left side, or when you feel complete, take in a deep breath and let it out. Another deep breath and let it out. Notice what you feel in your heart. Notice how your body feels. Sensations, emotions, temperatures, tinglies. And finally, notice the state of your mind. May all beings be happy, at peace, and free from fear. May all beings be happy, well, and free from fear. May all beings be joyful, well, and free from fear. And in your own times, you might like to rub your palms together and then cup your eyes, or you might just like to open your eyes. So how are you doing? How was that practice for you? What did you notice? What did you notice? Welcome, Rafaela. Claudia says, there's an expansion in my heart and a thrumming vibration in my body. I feel lighter. Good, a thrumming vibration. I've never heard of that before. I'd love to hear what else you've experienced. I know I experienced a sense of extremely deep focus, and while I was chanting, my mind was all over the place, it seemed. But as soon as I stopped, what I sensed was this extraordinary force, almost this, there's some meditations that are calming and peaceful and relaxing, and there's some meditations that are integrating. You download frequencies from the stars and the cosmos into your being. And then there's some meditations that are like extremely energizing, focused, almost like they gather a sense of power together. And that's kind of what I felt at the end of my practice just now with you. Thank you. Was the sense of real deep focus and almost a sense of just power coagulating. And that's not what I've always felt. I've practiced this for a while in the past, ever since I was taught this under Rafaela. I think you joined us a bit late. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Forgive me if I'm not. But the context to this is that my spiritual teacher in India, who is this being here, taught this mantra recently when they were asked if there was something that we can practice or say to help rebalance the world in light of COVID. So the meaning of the words in this particular mantra are Om and Kreem are both seed sounds. Maha Kali invokes the greatness of Maha is great. Kali is the energy of the divine feminine principle that is able to destroy. So invoking that, Sarva Rogam, all disease, all disease, all disease. Nasi Nasi is the soul fire that we send out from our souls as we say this, that just targets that disease and lets it with the grace of the divine know that it is light, i.e. get destroyed, same thing. So that was the context for what it was we just chanted. What else did people experience here? Debbie says, love and gratitude. Wow. I wonder if that started with the focus on the heart in the beginning and the coming into the heart space. Some tingling and calm and peaceful, beautiful. Jennifer says, empathy and tears. Good notice. Glad that came up. Whatever comes up, let it come up, because it's coming up to be felt. It's coming up from the intelligence of the body, and it's coming up to be let go of. Adair says, and if you have any questions, please ask me here or later. Adair says, saw the earth and humanity healing, vibrant blue-green. Beautiful. Beautiful. And a gold-orange color. Gorgeous. Thank you all for sharing such beautiful, beautiful thoughts. Again, I've taken down the clock and I don't know what the time is. Okay, we're 45 minutes in. You know, since it's our last class, maybe I'll go on a little bit over and share a few more things. Do you have any questions? I have a few things I'd love to share. Do you have any questions? Please ask if you do. And yeah, while I wait for questions, I'll take a little sip of tea, and then I'll share a few more things. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me on this last week. Has it been a week? Yeah, 8 days. Rafaela says, love the vibration of the chanting. Very relaxing and energizing at the same time. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. The light in my room just changed. Love the vibration of the chanting. Yeah, energizing and relaxing. It's the relaxation. In my experience, in my understanding of chanting, the relaxation comes with the focus, because when you are chanting, you are using the aspect of meditation that is focus. It is the same aspect we use when we focus on the breath, or when we focus on the square breath, or when we focus on an image. There is this focus, and with focus comes relaxation. And the energizing, for me that comes very much from the vibration of the chant, from the words, from the mantras, from that Sanskrit, because there's other sound meditations such as sound baths and gongs and all of those that really aren't energizing. They're deeply relaxing. They'll put you right into that I'm asleep theta, whatever, alpha theta state. So yeah. The energizing to me comes from this focus. And if you joined us late, you might want to go back and listen to the beginning. I explain a bit in the beginning what my understanding of what mantras is and how they work. So yeah, that coagulation of energy piece. So thank you all so much for joining me. It's been a real gift and pleasure. Real gift and pleasure to be on this journey. To be on this journey with you the last 8 days. The last time I taught this class was last November, and the first day I started to teach, Facebook locked me out of my account because I'd just flown across the world, and and it was interesting. So it's really nice to teach it again and to keep learning each time. Thank you for joining. Like as I've said. Some classes I have planned, like the first 5 days, I had those fairly well planned, but then what comes up after that, what comes up in what I called the bonus Q&A classes, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I mean, what comes up there is a very direct correlation to you, to who shows up, to what you need. So thank you for joining me in this. It's been a real blessing and privilege to go on this journey with you. The recordings will be up till Tuesday. Please watch them as much as you'd like, and yeah, as much as you'd like. And I hope you'll consider joining me on the 8-week journey. It would be lovely to share with you more and to continue holding a container. And I think the main thing for me when I teach is it's important that I hold a container. So exploring, if you have other ideas, someone wrote to me asking, hey, can we do meditation every day? Like, if you have other ideas, I'm always open to seeing, okay, what container, what ways can I hold a container for practice? So if you have ideas, please ask. If there's things you want, please ask. I'll think about them and see when I'm able to let that happen in my schedule. It is such a blessing. Thank you so much. The thing I wanted to share, besides my absolute utter gratitude, and I wish I could do this every day. In fact, I'd love to do this every day sometime. And it's just, I'm not a creature of structure. I'm a creature of flow. So to get up at the exact same time every day and know that I'm coming on live at the exact same time every day, does take quite a bit of energy from me. It's not an effortless thing, which is why if I were to do this every day, it would take planning and structure and intention and all of that. At least that's been my experience so far. But if I were to just pop on when I feel inspired and teach live, that's no problem. I can do that very easily. And hey, maybe I'll keep doing that in this group. Pop on every now and then and just teach something spontaneously. But yeah, it's been a real gift. So one thing I really wanted to share today was kind of the inspiration for even teaching this class. I was in the shower, and what popped into my mind was one of the biggest myths I find in the whole yoga meditation world that I actually haven't addressed at all, beyond really asking other people for their opinion on it in the World Tour of Meditation, which is this, what I see as this like fear, this real fear of having a teacher, this real fear of having a guru. You know, I think Tony Robbins has in the front page of his website, or did at some point, this picture of him, like, probably from the back, with like 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 people listening to him, or something like that. And the words on the picture went, "I am not your guru." And I look at that and it amuses me. It really amuses me. And I think there's so much sort of fear that having, and I think misunderstanding of what the word guru means, misunderstanding of what that concept is, of what the principle in it is. That it's kind of become this thing of, oh, someone who'll lead you astray or someone who'll take away your power. I know that when when I've mentioned to people very close to me who do not come from an Indian tradition, who do not come from a South Asian tradition, that oh, I have a guru, and so I stopped using that word after a while. I just started saying, oh, I have teachers. Like their first, and because like the first time in my life I used the word guru, it was to refer to my dance teacher. It was just like, she was my dance guru, that was my music guru. And I think in my parents' generation, this was their math guru, that was their science guru. It means teacher in colloquial parlance. But yes, there is the sense of sometimes you have a spiritual teacher that can guide you more deeply than just, you know, a math teacher. Not that math isn't spiritual, it beautifully deeply is. I deviate off topic, but it surprised me, and I think it, and this is probably why I haven't spoken to this before, because I never knew how to respond back to it. When I'd have people, very, very spiritually open, gifted people, come back to me with like, how could you have a guru? Like, why are you cutting off your connection with source? Why are you wearing something on your crown chakra? Why are you using an like all of these things? And I'd be like, huh, I don't understand what you're, like, I don't understand where your fear is coming from. I don't see these as separate. I mean, obviously I can see, and I think this is one aspect of it. Obviously I can see that, you know, sometimes teachers aren't what they proclaim to be, or, you know, they teach a teaching, but then they walk a totally different path. And you know, we see this all the time around, like, you know, money, power, and sex in the world of leadership. And yeah, one of the interviews in the World Tour Meditation spoke into that. That was a topic I was really interested in getting into, because it's something that's come up a lot. But anyway, all of that is sort of background. What I want to say on that topic is, I've had many teachers, I've had many gurus, many masters, many teachers in my life. And what I've found beautiful is that when I've had the grace to meet a being who is so much farther along the path of consciousness, this path of evolution, than I am, they've got this beautiful perspective, this absolutely gorgeous perspective to share with me. And what I've found extremely validating, reassuring, that's the word. What I've found extremely reassuring, loving, and kind when I've been in places where I'm like, why do I have a teacher? I should just believe myself and go and do my own things and figure it out. Like, or when I've been told something that I'm like, that can't be right. Like, what I've found really reassuring in that process is whenever I've had a question about something like, oh, what do I do with my life? Which direction do I go? What path do I take? My teacher has always said to me, and this isn't the answer my teacher gives everybody, but my teacher has always said to me, go chant this mantra, a different one, not the one we just did today. I can share that another time, but go chant this mantra, and then you will know inside of you. The goddess will speak to you inside of you. The divine will tell you inside of you. And, you know, to me, an answer like that, like, sometimes I just, like, I wish someone would just tell me, like, I've been in places where I wish someone would just tell me what to do with my life. And I would have done anything for someone to just give me an answer, someone I trusted, someone whose answer I could actually follow. But you know, I think if someone had told me that, if someone had told me, do this, I think that would have totally, that would have made me lose the trust as well. So I think that's something I just wanted to share, because in my experience, like, there are profound teachers, there are profound souls on this planet that I'm so lucky and grateful to have met, and this beautiful soul being one of them, Shri Shakti Amma. And there are others, but this beautiful soul being one of them. And what I've found is that somehow they have the wisdom to speak to whoever they're speaking to where that person is, and to tell them what it is that's right for them, that's right for their life. That perspective. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share. And you know, one of the interviews I did on the World Tour of Meditation with Ajahn Vimal, the Thai Buddhist monk with that gorgeous smile, if you watched that. He said something very, very beautiful. I don't know if you caught it. It was quite quick. But he said that the trouble with opening the third eye, which tends to be the path or the destination that a lot of people have in mind when they go down spiritual practice. He said the trouble with opening the third eye is that the third eye cannot, and he didn't say too much about this, but he just said the third eye cannot see the ego. And only the eye of the heart can. Only the eye of the heart can. And that totally maps onto a lot of the stories, a lot of the myths, lots of the legends in the Hindu tradition that I grew up hearing, of all these really powerful meditators, beings, evolved-ish souls, who would, you know, want to win a war or do something, and so they'd pray a lot and pray a lot and pray a lot and awaken all these powers, and then they'd take those powers and maybe be granted boons or gifts, but they'd take those powers and go do something bad, or go do something that wasn't based in love. And so the point being, like, you can awaken a lot of these siddhis, you can amass a tremendous amount of spiritual power and still not be in the heart, still not come from this place of love. And that actually coming from that place of love is so much more fulfilling and nourishing, and I think so much closer to the point, the purpose of existence, than even awakening the ability to see souls and auras and commune with the dead and whatever else it is that one can do. So to come into that place of the heart, to come into that love, I think that's another very, very beautiful thing that is a gift I've received through relationships with teachers of this sort, because there is a deep sense of practicing love, like practicing love for a teacher, practicing love for a community. There's that huge sense of practicing love. And then there's also the fact that when, you know, if I were to just go off on my own, how do you know when you are following the path of listening to, you know, when you are following the path that awakens the third eye? How do you know when you are seeing your ego or when you are not? Because by definition, if you are seeing from the perspective of ego, you have a blind spot. You can't see that. Whereas someone else who's coming from a place of deep love might be able to see your blind spot. And since they're coming from a place of love, they might be able to actually usefully and helpfully guide you. So, yeah, that's kind of what I just wanted to share in the context of what it means for me to have a teacher or to have multiple teachers, and in the context of, yeah, as I mentioned the very first time I mentioned this on social media in YouTube, my absolute biggest follower was like, I think, quite upset. And then it took me like a year or two to figure out, okay, what do I do with that? Like, how do I respond to that? What is the right way of speaking to that? Because I've also seen, you know, people kind of fawn and swarm over teachers, spiritual teachers, to the point that they seemed completely disconnected from their own sense of individuality, from their own sense of soul, from their own sense of who they are. And that's always not a nice thing at all. Read this horrible article the other day, about this spiritual teacher who, yeah, awful. Anyway, point being, come from the heart and as you go forth in your practice, in your journey to your heart, as you go forth, remember to listen to your heart, because she is really the best guide that you have. And sometimes people can come up in your life who can help you listen to your heart. Sometimes people will come up in your life who might help you notice, hey, I'm in my ego. And sometimes people will come up in your life who will challenge and ask, are you listening to your heart? And make you doubt that. And only you know. Only you have the ability to really listen to your heart. Or if you're gifted with the grace of a teacher who you have that relationship with, perhaps they can help in that way. But yeah, there's a lot in the world of meditation. There is a lot of there's a lot of gifts that come with a practice. There's a lot of skills and magic, for lack of a better word, that you can awaken. And as you journey, however that happens, just keep in mind that the third eye cannot see the ego. Only the eye of the heart can see. So if ever you have a choice between two paths, I do hope you pick a path that follows the heart. And if you don't, hey, you'll end up back at that anyway someday, is my thought. So on that note, thank you again for joining me. I'll put this replay up and I'll keep it up until Tuesday midnight, or maybe Wednesday if I get a good night's sleep. Yeah, and I 100% look forward to journeying further with you, whether that's in the 8-week class I'm starting or whether that's at some other point, some other offering, some other way. So take care, be well, lots of love, and if you have questions, I'm still here. So please ask. If anything comes up, please ask. Lots and lots and lots of love. Bye-bye.